Just making them aware of the 12 questions was an eye-opener. But we decided to pay attention to the points one by one in separate sessions. Not one by one, but as they were separated in 4 groups. For example, the idea of being in the loop, keeping them informed. When we asked people, do you have the right material, and they referred to the internet, we were thinking of samples and catalogs. This was a clear message that you ask the people what they want. Sometimes you give them. Let me tell you a quick story. I'm not going to take much time. I met a gentleman who was, for me, like a wizard. He was like over 70. He was talking about his 25th anniversary with his wife, and he wanted to make that very special. So he got her breakfast in bed, booked a nice restaurant, got a violin player during lunch, and he got her a 3-pair earring because she always loses one. So he got her reading 3 parts, diamond ring, earring, limousine car, opened the door for her, everything. And next day morning, she said, do you know what I like best? And he said, the earrings? He said, no. And he said, well, the violin? She said, no. I said, what is it? And then she said, you opened the door for me like when we were engaged. So we are teaching now our people this. Go ask me stuff. What do they want? That kind of care, I don't think it requires training, just requires attention. We are all aware of this. We just stop doing it at one point in time. You're married? You understand what we're talking about.
How are you engaging the managers into all this shift? Because it's very clear they focus on the young generation and where the company wants to go. But they are the ones that knows and have the knowledge, and they're the leaders right now. How are you engaging them?
Okay, now here's the trick. Now, the results that we have shown. What do the results show? The reflection of the behavior of the staff, the juniors, or the behavior of the managers? What do you think? The staff behavior or feeling is a reaction to the managers. So when we brought the graphs up and we showed the managers, these are our results, they immediately understood that they have an impact on this. All right. And the questions are clear. I have someone at work that cares about me. Or in the last 7 days, I've received the praise. So if you say, this group has not received the praise in the last 7 days, it indicates that their manager is not paying attention to them properly. So the guys automatically, this is what we realized as senior managers, but we didn't want to spell it like this. So we just presented the results, regional. What we're doing right now, this is the next stage. What we're doing right now, we have specialities in the company. So we're not taking it by region anymore, we're taking it by speciality. So every modality is being analyzed and surveyed by itself. So the regional manager, this is his results, and the speciality is this is the manager's result for the speciality. And when they see the results, they realize that this is the impact of their work. And having these results and asking them that we have to drive the curve up automatically gets them engaged. Now, they have their own opinion because they do not receive the praise every week. And the higher you go up the pyramid, there's less people up, and you're expected to do the work without the thank you. The carrot gets smaller, and you keep running after it. But just in the process, that got them excited. And during the meetings, we asked them to write a self-action plan. How are they going to change as a manager affecting this point? So my staff, one of our surprises, I know what's expected of me at work. We got 4 out of 5. What does that mean? Job descriptions are not clear. So what is it? What do you have to do as a manager? I have to clarify to the guys what they need to do. So they're not that stupid. So they were able to realize that immediately, and they started writing their action plan. In terms of job description. First, we began to receive HR needs to clarify job descriptions. No. I want your action plan. I will make the job description. How are you going to explain it to your staff? So that got them involved in the process itself. Does that answer your question? Can I, gentlemen?
Can you, when people talk about engagement very often, and we've heard quite a lot of it over the last, today and so on, it tends to be put in the context of making people feel comfortable with their environment. To me, that's not engagement. You can be engaged, but not empowered. So if you're engaged and not empowered, it doesn't in the end mean very much. So can you tell me, given that your intake is graduate, young people, how quickly and in what way you keep them engaged by empowering them?
Well, empowering is a bit tricky, because empowering, you want to tell them that you're taking you're giving them 100% authority, or authority to do something, and this is one of the things that we realized here. If they feel that they can change something in the company, they feel empowered. But how soon can they? We had one of the younger guys change the way we give commission. We give incentive to the company. But the way it was fostered, that he came up with an idea. The idea was taken by the manager was escalated the idea upwards, put in a nice presentation, and refer to that person. It's his idea to change the commission scheme or the incentive scheme. It reflected very well. We talked, I was managing this region 4 years back, and I had one of the guys at that time who was just a junior, and I had him in one of the meetings, and I told him, you remember when you used to come up with me, to me with ideas? And he said, yes. I said, oh, you're all trash. He goes, what? I told him, all your ideas were trash. Did I ever tell you that? I said, no. Wonderful idea. But you know what? You need to write it down. And when they start writing it down, it becomes more formalized. And then they can realize what's good and what's not. And then you take it further up. And then, you know what? Let's do this. You know, maybe this would be too expensive to implement. Just encouraging them to play around with ideas, their own ideas, and bringing it back again to you. Give them that sense of empowerment, although they have no power at all. But just being in the process of advising, and you accept their advice and flourish it and enhance it until sometimes it comes and we change the scheme for the whole company, commission scheme for the whole company. That gives them the sense of power, but it doesn't really give them the power until they actually deserve it.
When do they get authority?
I think we're talking about 6 months, 8 months. But again, it's not full authority. It's driving the bicycle. So you have to hold it for a while. I have 5 minutes. Can we have the gentleman?
Yeah. You mentioned that the watchdogs pretty much knew what they needed to do.
Don't say that about.
That's what you call it. Did you get any resistance from some? How did you deal with resistance? So were there any blockers?
You know what? We are a family-owned company. We are a one-man show. And we were very careful not to aggravate the dogs. But it was clear, because when we made the survey, when we made the annual survey, the online survey, we had 67% hit rate. So that was excellent. And we were able to segregate the juniors, 0 to 1 year, 1 to 5 years, and onwards until we got to the top management. And of course, like I said, the top management, did I receive praise in the last 7 days? If they say 7 months, would be more applicable. Because the higher you go up, then you're receiving very little personal appraisal. And that's the way the business is. But they are aware of what's going on. And when they see the results, again, they're not stupid. They can see that, oh, the people that are above 10 years in the company scored, did I receive praise in the last 7 days? He scored 1 out of 5. Must be an issue. Okay? And the presence of the external consultant is crucial when you have a one-man show. Because you cannot go up as a son of the company, you cannot go up to the managing director and say, you did terrible, look at the scores, man. We can't do that, but the consultant can. The consultant can come and say, look, you have a problem in the top management level, this is what they're complaining about. And that's why the external consultant here will play a very active role in this. Do I have one more question or we're done?
I could suggest one, and can I say that any further questions can be addressed during the break, of course. So if you have specific questions,
Good, thank you.
Can I propose to
I
the
have
last
to
one?
protect my generation. Okay. Don't you think that the older generation, they have the term that they know it all. They always think that they know it all. They don't adapt to the new generation easily. And I think that the new generation is easier to be engaged rather than the old generation. Because when you go to the older generation and try to engage them, they said no. They're so self-protective, so self-autonomous, you can say. And I think that the older generation should think that the 50s and 60s, they're gone. They have to, really, I'm serious. They have to adapt to the new things. And regarding the point where you said about the maturity, I didn't take that personally, it's okay. But I mean that even my dad knows the matrix. Even my dad, when he was in the work field, they asked him to use the internet. And he called me. He told me, hey, I have to go to the net cafe. Show me how to enter the internet. And they've got the certificate. Those are the old generation who really are leaders, trying to learn from the older generation and from the new generation.
You're right, you're 100% right. But let me reverse the question to you.
Yeah.
You think somebody who's been in the company for 18 years is not engaged? We're married with 3 kids already, forget it.
Okay, regardless of the marriage, some people are not married and they are even engaged more than the people who
Oh,
are
I'm sorry, I mean married to the company. I don't mean personally.
Yeah, you want everyone to get married to the company.
In our company, this is actually how we recruit people. In the recruitment stage, we tell them, we're not here to have fun. You want to come join the company. If you are not in the company,
That's
we're
why
not
you
in.
have commitment.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes. We don't give them a ring, but we give them a pin.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for, thank you for not killing the watchdog. Okay. The